All right, so to create a blog section from scratch, I'm first going to go ahead and create a new project from the dashboard. I'm going to choose a template. I'm going to go with this one here and the name blog from scratch. Hit continue. Now this template doesn't have a blog section, so I'm going to go to the CMS here, and first I'm going to create some sample data. Hit plus. I'm going to create a people collection with names and images and email addresses, etc. This is going to be for the authors. And plus, I'm not going to use categories this time, just the blog posts. So I have 5 blog posts with a name, which is the title of the article, a description, image, content, and I'm going to add a reference field to the people collection I just created a moment ago. People create field. And now I'm going to add some authors to some of these blog posts. To save time, I'm just going to add 2. That's 1. And the second one, just add a random author. All right. Okay, so we have the blog posts with the authors. Now we need a place to put them. First, for the list of blog articles, we're going to use a regular page, and we're just going to call it blog. Hit create. And now for the blog articles, blog posts, we're going to create a CMS page. This will have the dynamic data for each blog post. It's going to be collection connected to the blog posts collection, and we're going to add a root here. This is for your website /blog and / the title of the blog post. That's going to be the URL for each article, which will be created dynamically. So here I'm going to click create and edit, and of course this page doesn't have anything, but before we start building things out here, let's go ahead and go to the home page. Let's go to the section, the navigation here, and I'm just going to copy and paste this element, and I'm going to change this to blog, and now I can go to settings and link it to pages and that blog page, which isn't created yet, of course. Okay, so that's that. Another thing we might want to do is go to this link block that has the logo here and also link it to the home page. So when we're playing around with the preview here, we can go to the blog post and back to the home page by just clicking the logo. All right, now let's create a section, right click, or use the shortcut for creating a component, not a section. We already have the section. Navigation, hit enter. Now scroll down to the bottom. I'm going to do the same thing with the footer, so we can basically reuse this in the other pages we created. Create component, and this is going to be called the footer. Hit enter. Now, if I switch from the home page to the blog, we see it's empty, but if I hit A, then go to components, I see the components I just created. The navigation, hit A again. The footer, hit A again. And I'm going to click navigation because I want the elements I will add now to be created under the navigation. I'm going to create a section, a container, a block for connecting to the CMS, and a link block. Of course, you can build it out in different other ways. You can use the row element, etc., etc. But I'm just going to keep it simple. For the block here, I'm just going to go ahead and connect it to the collections, blog posts. Now, let's actually click link block, hit A, and here I'm going to add the image for the blog article and another block, and in this block I'm going to add a heading and a paragraph for the description. Okay, so let's connect these things together. This is the description, so it's going to go to description, and the heading also in the settings here, key none, the name, because that's the field we're using for the title of the article, and the image, key none, image. There we go. Now for the design, let's make it let's make the image a little smaller so it's easier for us to see things here. 33%. There we go. Now we can play around a bit with the design here. Let's click the link block. I'm going to use this for the For the layout, I'm going to go with flex, and I'm going to add a gap, 23, and I want to align it to the top instead of it stretching like this. There we go. And I'm going to use the, let's go with the container here, change the width, the max width, because I don't like things so wide. All right, now I'm going to take the text, make it smaller. There we go. And let's go ahead and go back to the container. Let's do it here. And let's go with flex, vertical, and let's add a gap here too. All right. Now, like I said, you can play around with this design. You have more text here, so the spacing here is a little bigger. Depending on what you want to achieve, you'll be changing things around or limiting yourself to a certain size of text to make this design look good. So here's the list of articles. We also need to link them to the specific articles, and in the settings for the link block, just click Pages, Blog Post, Data, Collection Data, and Current Collection. All right, so now if we click Preview, once we click these, they will go to the specific blog post, to that page, to that dynamic page, which we haven't built out yet, so that's why it's empty. So let's go ahead and click Exit Preview here. And, you know, like I said, with the design, you can do anything to your liking, change up the colors, give the images some radius for the borders. But let's go ahead and play around with the blog post now. Here's the blog post. Again, I'm going to hit A, Components. I'm going to hit the navigation, A again, the footer, hit navigation again, A, Elements. So it's built under the navigation, the section, A again, container, A again. Let's go with a block, A again. For this block, we're going to have an image, A again, and some text. Okay, let's say this is going to be the author image. So to actually see something, let's go to Settings, Key, CMS Page Data, People, Photo. And we're not seeing anything because we're not actually choosing a blog article. So we need to choose a blog article to actually see. There we go. Okay. And let's go to the design. Let's go ahead and make this a lot smaller, even smaller. All right, let's change the borders, radius, go with full. And then the text, we're also going to go to the settings, key, CMS page data, people, name. There we go. And for the block, we can go to the design, layout, flex, justify, vertical, align. There we go. Okay, and now we can, depending on your design, if you want the author at the top or at the bottom, let's just keep him at the top this time. Container, hit A, heading. This is going to be for the blog post. Title, A again. Let's go with some text. That can be for a category that we don't have, or for the date we created the blog post, and an image, A, and rich text. This is going to be for the content itself. Okay, and let's connect it. Rich text we already have selected, so let's go to Settings, Key, CMS Page Data, Content. There we go. That's the content. And, do you, but really quickly, I'm just going to add some padding here so it looks a little better. Hit the image, go to Settings, go to Data Binding, CMS Page Data, Image, and heading. Sorry, here it is. Key, CMS Page Data, name, that's for the title. And this text, data binding, I'm going to go CMS Page Data, created date. There we go. And now the container design, actually, let's go back and do this a little differently. This is what we want. And let's do the same thing with the text. There we go. Sizing, spacing. I'm going to hit Option and just do this really quickly. Okay, there we go. That's the article. Maybe I'd want the author to be a little lower, like so. And probably I'd want to change the width, like so. Okay, looking good. That's the blog post. And if we go to preview, we have the home page, we have the blog posts, we have the specific blog post we can choose, and there we go. Now this one doesn't have an image because it doesn't have an author, right? So we need to choose one with an author to actually see what we created. Let's go to the bottom here, and there we go. Looking good. That's how you create your own blog section from scratch. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.